Hello.
Hey, girl.
Hi. Here we go again with Lunch and Learn from the Home Gurus of the Keller Williams Realty Group. Today, my name is Mina Newsom. I'm one of the realtors here, one of the inside sales agents. I
And
have.
I am Melissa Kitchens. I'm an outside
Oh, yes,
agent.
we're both outside.
Yeah, you
What
said
am I
in.
thinking?
Well, we're inside the building right now,
We're-
but yeah, I got you, girl.
So we're the outside sales agents, one of the realtors that you'll be working with. And today we want to give you a little bit of knowledge and share a little bit of knowledge with you about a few topics.
Absolutely.
So today's topics, we will cover the
The
market.
market, always. Always talking about the market.
And also we'll cover a big question we have here lately. Should I sell my house or should I rent it? And we'll go into a little bit more detail about that closer to the end. We have a few FAQ questions.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk about the the Home Gurus events
and our housing market update and our inventory.
Yeah, so I hope you've grabbed your lunch and get ready. Melissa and I will be sitting here snacking on Chick-fil-A and enjoying lunch.
Too much in front of you. So.
Enjoying lunch with you guys. So let's get started. All right, so let's talk about the market. The first question or topic of the day is, what are the upfront costs I need to be aware of when buying a home? You want to do this one or you want me to do it?
I'll do some of them. You can add to if you want.
Okay.
All right, so upfront costs when you want to buy a home. Well, you need to secure your agent because you want a really good agent.
Okay.
To help you find a home. But you need to have probably some money down, ready to go for your down payment. You're going to need money for your earnest money because you want to show the sellers that you really want to buy that home. So you're going to have that earnest money ready to go. So I would have like a little bit of money saved up for that just to start looking. Also, this wasn't one of the costs, but go get pre-approved. It's like the thing to do before you even start looking.
Right.
Please do that. Please.
So that's one of the good things about working with our agents. When we do sit down and we give you a buyer's presentation, we actually take you through the 3 buckets of money. We talk about the items covered in the down payment. We talk about items in your closing costs. And then we also talk about just kind of the expenses that's needed. You need expense money for the home inspection, which ranges from $400 to $600.
Yeah.
$400 to $600. You also need money for the appraisal, which is handled by your lender closest to closing. And there's one more.
Closing attorney for when you close.
Yep.
You need that.
So either way it goes, we get into detail and we help you with those costs. But mainly the earnest money, anywhere between $500 to $2,000. That shows the buyer that you are very serious about buying the house. Your down payment money, sometimes that is negotiable as far as which lenders you're working with, because you might have some down payment assistance available. And that's in Tennessee and in Mississippi.
Right. And we're seeing a lot more of that right now as far as down payment assistance. And so if you really are in need and you want a home, but you're like, oh gosh, I don't have a down payment. I don't have that kind of money. We know a ton of lenders right now who will work with you and who know so much about different loans that they can find the one that fits you. Okay, based on your income, your information that you give them. Like, gosh, we have so many lenders that we talk to and that are so helpful to us.
So yes, make sure you call our office, get with one of the realtors, and we can give you some of that information and share it with you. All right, next question. Can you explain the mortgage pre-approval process and what documents I need to get started?
Okay.
I'll start with this one.
Yeah.
So the lender mostly handles that process with you, the pre-approval. I can say with the pre-approval, they will probably start asking for proof of employment, some pay stubs. They will probably ask for your tax returns. You will definitely need a valid driver's license. And they will probably run
up to date.
Yes, current and up to date, not suspended or restricted. And definitely has to be valid before closing.
Right.
And credit history, but of course the lender handles that. So those are some of the documents that you'll probably need, and you'll work with your lender on some of those documents.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I was chewing. The next question was, how do I know if a home is priced fairly? Okay, and what's the process for making an offer? All right. As agents, we see the market. We're in the market each and every day. We can look at a house and say, yeah, that's overpriced or underpriced. And we know that based on comps, which are homes around that area and what they're going for. We look at when it was built.
Mm-hmm.
We look at square footage. We look at how many bedrooms, bathrooms, so many factors that we look at. Is there another factor I'm thinking of? Because I'm like thinking of all the things. So we check.
And your agent does all this for you.
Yes. That's why you need us, because we're going to be there for you to help you with that.
Yeah, and the second part of that question was, what's the process to make the offer?
Okay, the process for making an offer. Why don't you tell them more about that?
Once you get pre-approved and you go shopping with your agent, then we start with the earnest money. We start writing up a contract, purchase for offer, contract for purchase. We help you negotiate with the seller back and forth. Sometimes we may receive a counter offer. But those are the processes that you take to make an offer. You get with your agent. The agent makes the offer for you. We go back and forth until everything is agreed between you and the seller. We get a binding contract in place, and we put down earnest money. Now, you do not own the home at that time. It is not yours. We still have to go through closing and everything, but that is how you start initiating the offer on that home.
Right. Okay, very good. Good answer, Mina. All right, what should I look for during home inspection to avoid surprises later?
Oh man, I seem like we've been talking about this the last 2 hours.
We just talked about that. Yes, that is so important to have your home inspection done. Even if you think your house is flawless, you better get one done, because you want to know everything is in tip-top shape, okay, before you put that on the market.
So that home inspector is going to go in there. He's going to look at the air conditioning, HVAC systems. He's going to look at electricity.
Yep.
He's going to look at plumbing. And he's going to look at
the wood.
He's going to look at a lot of things that's not visible to the eye. And he's also going to check the shingles and everything on the roof, make sure there's no roofing damage. But you yourself do not do the home inspection. Even though it says, what should I look for during a home inspection? We can go and we walk through the house. Of course, we look and we see if any cosmetic damages, like stains on the roof or painting that needs to be done or buckles in the floorboard, things like that. But we work with great licensed home inspectors to get us a detailed report.
Yeah. And there will be no surprises, because they're going to bring it up to you and you'll have that information and make sure. I mean, that helps both sides, the seller, so they'll know what they have to do, and the buyer, so they know what's going on with that house.
Right. Okay. Are there any first-time home buyer programs or incentives that I might qualify for?
Oh my goodness, there's so many right now. Like, yes.
Yes, and it kind of takes us back to the mortgage pre-approval process.
Right.
Once that lender runs your credit and gets you pre-approved, they are the ones that let you know if you qualify for the first-time home buyer process programs and incentives. There are a lot of incentives out there. One thing I do know about the first-time home buyers, if you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, you could still qualify for a first-time home buyers program.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah. So I used to think it had to be your first time ever, but no, she's right. Just in those 3 years, if you haven't owned. And in fact, that showed up this morning on an email, and it said it had like the average age of those first-time home buyers now are somewhere in their 30s and 40s now.
Oh, wow.
I know. That's kind of crazy. I just saw that this morning. I was like, what? That's crazy.
Is that still the millennial generation?
Millennials? No. Okay. I would say no.
They're still in the 20s. Okay.
30s. My daughter's one. Ooh, not telling my age.
All right. And the incentives also. So there are a lot of incentives out there. We have some of the builders are giving incentives where they help with closing costs.
Lots of money. The $10,000 Some of them are doing 10, some of them are doing what,
15,
15, yeah.
Mhm.
And their interest rates are like 4.99. They are helping pay so many things. Also, today during our morning call, we got to talk about a lender who was working with low income families, and she found bonds instead of grants
Oh,
that could
wow.
help get the house note lower so that they could afford it. So
Mhm.
there's so many ways that you can get what you need or want. If you just talk with us, we've got the connections and we can get you in the home that you would love and try to get it at a price you can afford.
Okay. And in both Tennessee and in Mississippi, there are other grants out there as well.
Yes.
I know in Mississippi we have some rural grants related to USDA.
Right?
In Tennessee, is it the THDA grant, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just so many. It's kind of hard for us just to keep up with all of them because we're hearing about new ones all the time. I talk to lenders every day. In fact, I've talked to one this morning, and we have he has grants that offer down payment assistance,
Mhm.
the properties, and there's a thing called emergent communities. There's the right at home grants. There's
Tons of
so
them.
many that are, yeah. You just have to contact us. We'll get you with the right lenders and let them get to work for you.
Mhm. All right. Next question. Hope you guys are enjoying this and getting a lot of information from this. Let's switch it up a little bit. Are there any zoning laws or restrictions I should know about if I want to renovate or develop the property? Yes.
Oh, yeah, you really do have to research that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Most of them is the planning and development department that you can get from the county. Usually we lead you towards them, give you a phone number or website to go to. You definitely want to make sure that you don't have to have any kind of variations, I believe, to or any
Yeah.
permissions that you need to
Mhm.
do any kind of new development. Like for example, you don't just start building a beauty shop in your home.
Right. You can't just do that. You have to get permission and you have to make sure it's in the right kind of, if it's a residential area, you can't do that.
Even
In a
if I
lot of
wanted to add a
places.
sunroom on the back of my house, I would still have to go and get
A
a
permit.
permit. Mhm.
Right. To put a pool in your backyard, you have to have a permit and you have to have it, they come by and they check off and make sure it passes or fails. Yeah, inspection. They will come by your house and do that. I've noticed they did that at my house when we got our pool put in.
Right. So make sure you work with your agents because we have the information, no matter which county you're in, to kind of point you in the right direction, and you can get the information and permits you need based off those zones that you're in.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. All right. Can you provide a comparative market analysis to help me understand the long-term investment potential? Long-term investment potential. We do CMAs all the time.
mhm.
How would you think that we would do that for a long-term investment?
We do the comparative market analysis.
Mm-hmm.
When we actually do the comparative market analysis, we are, and I'm gonna break this down as I think through it.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking at the houses in that area over the last 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months.
Yep.
We can also go take that analysis and go back as far as you need to, whether it's like 1, 2 years, and just from the marketing side of me, if you want to kind of like track the market and how the market has been happening over the years, we can get with some professionals.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna point you in the direction of the financials and provide those CMAs to kind of help give you the information on the investment that you're looking for.
Good job. You're
Yeah.
sitting here chewing my food. There we go.
How do you how do you handle multiple offers or bidding wars on an investment properties?
All right, multiple. Well, I'd say in priority, you go in order. Yes, the first offer, you're going to give it to the seller.
But what if I'm actually the buyer? Who helps me with that?
If you're the buyer, who's going to help you with that?
Yeah, how do I handle it? How do you?
We help you with that. Our team would help you with that. We have our TCs that help you, transaction coordinators that help you with all those things.
Yeah, and we communicate everything that's going on through every step of that process.
Every step with our entire team. We have a success team that does all these things with us.
There are certain situations where, and I've actually experienced those, a couple of them, where when we go and look at an investment property, it's our job to call, see what the status of that property is, see if they've already accepted any kind of offers, and then we'll know if we can put in an offer. Sometimes we'll call another agent or investment company or a franchise, and they'll say, well, we're accepting the best and highest offer on by end of day next Wednesday.
Right. They do give deadlines sometimes just to cut them off, like, because you might have so many and you have to weed through the best one. Which one's the best deal for you?
Yeah, and your agent helps you come up with what's the best offer. We, as agents on the selling side and buying side, they can't tell us exactly what the highest offer is at that moment, but we can use our education and our expertise to kind of gauge where they are and how to help you get the best offer and to show them that you're serious and you're the most highest or qualified buyer, or you're the best one to pick for that property. Of course, we have some verbiages that we put in there, but we as a team work together to get that in there to try to get you up front on those multiple offers. And bidding wars are pretty common.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, that when I bought my house, when I moved one street over, there were 13 of us who put in offers for my house. And somehow we ended up getting it. And I was like, yes. And I honestly, when I heard that there was, actually, I think it was 13 others. That's what I heard.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And there was all of us wanting the same house. And I'm like, we're not going to get it. But we did. It worked out for us.
But sometimes if you're people like me, you might not want to be a part of the bidding war, and I would work with my agent and build a new house.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to have to wait. And at that time, the market was so crazy that I was afraid I would have been homeless. So I got that house I wanted. No, really, because my house sold in like 24 hours. I'm not lying.
No,
It did. It sold in 24 hours. And yeah, it was like boom, boom. But that was when the market was going crazy. Just about 4 years ago.
How long would it take to sell my home?
It just averages, like, we can't say, hey, your house will sell in this amount of time. We are seeing an average. I will just say in Tennessee, the average is like 87 days. I wrote this down, 80 something days. In Mississippi, we're seeing like 91, 92 days.
Yeah, I think earlier it was 98 days.
Yeah, it's just changing, but it does depend on the location. We were just talking about that earlier too. If your house is in a very good neighborhood and it is like, boom, everybody wants a house in your neighborhood, guess what? They're always looking in that neighborhood to buy a home. Then they are going to be making offers on that one quickly. It just depends on location and what buyers are looking for.
Okay, we got to get moving. Melissa and I could talk forever.
Oh, gosh.
We have more to cover.
Yeah, we do.
What should I do to prepare my home for sale? We just talked about that today.
Yeah. Do you want to say?
I'll start with one or two.
All right.
The first thing I can come up with is a common question that came up today. Do I have to take down my pictures?
Right.
No, you don't have to take down your pictures all the time. But you want to give the buyer an opportunity to see themselves in the house.
That's right. They want to visualize themselves in that home. And if they see pictures of you plastered everywhere or your family, it's going to be like,
Another one is some people believe they have to do a lot of repairs. We don't want you to invest in a lot of repairs. We would rather for you to let us come out early, walk through, and tell you which ones are the best repairs to do. Of course, rotten wood, you might want to take care of rotten wood, but you don't necessarily have to always go out there and paint your cabinets or replace your countertops and put granite countertops out there. Sometimes you paint, sometimes you don't.
Right.
Definitely cleaning up. It's
definitely. Yeah, we're talking about being just a nice, clean home goes a long way.
So we have actually a sheet or a guide that we actually present and share with our sellers with the top 47 things to do to prepare my home for sale. And we'll go through that with you and kind of educate you on the best practices or things to do to get ready to sell your home and make it more marketable.
Right. Absolutely.
Anything else you want to add?
No, you were saying it all. That was great. I'm trying not to talk too much. We talk too much.
You're
Right?
eating.
I know. Plus, I was eating. I didn't want a cold fry later.
Okay.
All right. Is now a good time to buy? Heck yeah, go for it. I would say the mortgage rates are coming down. It's not a bad time, actually. And there are lots of builders giving concessions. There's sellers giving concessions. They're dropping their prices like crazy. I feel like, yes, there will be changes and shifts in the market. So I wouldn't hold out waiting just to see what's going to happen because then it might get a little too crazy and you're going to wish you had tried sooner.
Yeah, don't miss out on the home you want right now, waiting on interest rates.
Because it might be gone, honestly.
And if you're waiting, a ton of other people are waiting.
That is true.
And by the time the things do shift next year, all those buyers are going to start flooding the market. And what comes with that? Because supply and demand definitely rules the day.
Absolutely.
Prices are going to rise.
Prices going to go. I think the prices will go up. Because and then they won't even have to offer all the concessions because they're gonna have all these buyers.
Right, and right now, another reason it's good to I'm sorry if you already said this. Sellers are more willing to negotiate right now.
Absolutely. We're just making sure that you know that because we are seeing that, and that has been in the last 6 months. I've seen that.
Right. On the flip side, is now a good time to sell my home? Yes. Take advantage of your equity now. Especially if you're within a specific price range, within that 200,000 to 300,000 price range. Those homes are
going just like that.
Yeah, going
they
pretty
really
fast
are.
right
They're
now.
going quickly. Also, I would just say it's a seasonal thing right now. If your house, I mean, if you've already been decorating, and I know a lot of people are going to be decorating for Christmas soon, if you haven't already, your home is more warm and inviting now probably than any other time of the year. So why not try to sell it when it's beautifully decorated? I'm just saying.
Yeah, so make sure you get with your realtor. If you have any additional questions that we just went through our FAQs, and we'll be glad to elaborate more on any of those questions that you need. Make sure you call the office, and Teresa will guide you to the right person.
Absolutely, we'll talk to you.
So, all right, we have a few more things to cover. The next thing, a topic of discussion is, let's talk about, should I sell my home or should I rent it out? That's been a common conversation that we've had here lately.
Yes.
And it kind of depends on.
There's a lot of pros and cons.
Yeah, it depends on the market, and it depends on your financial need.
Absolutely.
It depends on your own personal circumstances. So let's talk about some of those pros and cons.
Okay, I'm going to say, let's say you have to move away. And you're not going to be anywhere near this property. You may be in a whole nother state. How would you take care of that home for a tenant? Are you going to have somebody here that's going to go in and fix pipes and things?
Well, if I'm renting it to my tenant, I have to take in consideration that I got to have landlord insurance. If they damage the property, like you said, I've got to pay for maintenance
fees,
and I'm still paying for the mortgage on that.
This is true. And let's say the tenant say, "No, I like this house, but no, I'm leaving now." And so now you've got that empty house with no tenants there. And if you got HOA fees, and there's usually so many different fees that could be. But let's say,
let's talk about the
positive things. Yes, let's say it's in an ideal situation. It's an ideal location, and it's a really good home. It's in good shape, and you've made sure everything is good as far as heat, air, and all those things like that. And maybe you are nearby. Yes,
that's additional income.
That is additional income. In fact, I've actually thought about buying some homes myself and renting them out myself. I mean, that's seriously in my head now. And you and I both talked about doing those kinds of things, investing in properties like that.
But if I'm away, like Melissa said, and I just decide to rent it, another positive to that is I continue to build equity on that home if I rent it out.
This is true. So you're building equity and you're making money to pay for that mortgage. Yeah. Plus, you're probably making a little extra, hopefully.
Yep. And if I decide that this is just a temporary move, I still might have my home to come back to.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. You may, I mean, honestly, yeah, I was thinking more of it just like a
Now that
just
was
an investment property, but you're right. If it was your own personal home and you left it and then you're like, yeah, I'm coming back. I'm going to live in that house again.
but we talked about renting. What's some of the pros of selling it?
Pros of selling it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have to worry about maintenance.
You get a large profit off
You
of
make
it.
a big chunk of money and you're ready to go invest in something else, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Buy your next home.
Yeah, so you might need that cash from that equity
Right.
to purchase your new home.
Right.
So that's if you sell it.
Depends
So
on your financial needs, I think. That would
it
be a
does.
big thing.
And that financial need could mean that I need the cash right away for my future plans.
Right, right. You might be having to pay for a wedding or something. You're like, okay, this house got to be sold. You never know.
All right, next slide.
Are you ready for the realities of being a landlord? We just kind of talked about that, actually talking about things that are broken and stuff. And if you do have some really great handymen around and you can just say, yeah, I need you to go take care of this and this and this, yeah, go for it. But just be sure that you are willing and able to take care of those things when things do go wrong.
Right. So you got to consider broken pipes. You got to consider the HVAC system.
It could probably be stressful and a headache a little bit.
You got to consider structural damage and any other essential cosmetic repairs.
Right.
So if you
And
don't have that money set aside
That's
for
right. That could
that,
cost a lot of money too.
you could put yourself in a financial bind.
And the whole point is to make money, not to make yourself have to pay more.
Right. And so let's just kind of give an overview. We did kind of talk about why what's the difference in selling my home or renting it out, and some of the things we called out that are costs to consider are mortgages, insurance,
yes, taxes. We didn't even say that. Property taxes.
What happens when you have taken consideration if it's vacant, you still have to pay that mortgage.
Yes.
And marketing to find another tenant.
And I'm sure that takes time, the process of finding a good tenant. You need to be. You probably would want to interview people and just, kind of go through that. I would think.
Right.
That's what I would do if I was going to have somebody come rent my house out. I want to invite them in, see what kind of people they are, see if they are going to take care of that home or not.
Right. So hopefully we gave you some information on the pros and cons of selling your home or renting your home.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Our housing market update, our inventory we're seeing right now is kind of
roughly 3-to-1 ratio.
3-1. It's kind of low. Yeah. A slight uptick in inventory. Do we see that?
We have some sellers out there that are
Tennessee, we're seeing that more than Mississippi. We're not seeing a whole lot in Mississippi, honestly.
Yeah, so because like we said, you don't have to wait until the first of the year to put your house on the market. Go ahead and do it now.
I would go ahead and do it now, and then by the new year, you would be ready to go, and your house would be sold.
Right, and again, that new construction, remember they have a lot of incentives out there that we can give you information with, and we have partnerships and relationships with a lot of them in Tennessee and Mississippi, so we definitely advise that you reach out to us.
Absolutely. All right. The benefits of an open house in today's market. So our team shows homes all the time. In fact, I have 2 open houses this weekend. I'm doing one tomorrow and I'm doing one on Sunday. And I would say that home exposure, just being able to open that home up and let people come in and take a look at it and see if that's for them, then that's really going to help you sellers get people in and look at your property.
And as a buyer, I want to get a feel for a home. I don't want to just see it on the internet. I want to go inside and get a feel
walk
for
through it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So open houses. Join us this weekend. We have a open house. You can actually see this on our website too. Go to the Home Gurus page on Facebook and you will see some that we have open. Melissa has one open this weekend.
Tomorrow at 4316 Pfizer in Memphis from 2 to it's actually 1 to 5.
We have a beautiful home at 7254 Flower Creek Drive in South Haven.
Oh yeah, Ashton's going to be doing that one.
That is November 16th from 2 to 4.
Then I will be.
This is somebody wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to be on Wooten on Sunday from 2 to 4.
Mm-hmm. All right, so make sure you
20. Sorry.
and they're all posted on our website.
They are.
Yeah, they're all posted on our website and our Facebook page.
You can always call in and we will give you the information. If you need me to send you a flyer or something, I would absolutely love to do that for you.
Right. So that's about all we have today for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was very informative.
And I know Mina's hungry because I've been eating and she hasn't. So.
I'm thirsty more than anything.
Thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here. Have a great one.